Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. So we're gonna get right to it, because like I said, this is a opportunity for people to call in. How you doing, Jeffrey? Blessings. Um, and some of these things I definitely have to record and highlight. And I'm just going to go to this point right here. Very important discussion. Excellent interview by Andre Stevens. I mean, I give him a 10 out of 10, to be honest with you. I cannot tell a lie. The man, he did that. You know what I mean? He did that. And I am, I am on this platform. I always going to give credit where credit is due. And I want to say a shout out to all the other vloggers out there that is playing their part in educating us, because even me, I am a student of all of this. You know what I'm saying? Even some of the historical facts about the PMP. It has really changed my outlook, my stark outlook on the PMP and the JLP, to be honest with you. I was one of those that was maintaining that both of them are the same, but I believe that there's a shift happening, and it has to happen. The status quo cannot remain the same, ladies and gentlemen. It simply can't. And the Bolo prophecy, I believe in the Bolo prophecy. I don't believe it's a joke. I don't believe it's just something for we play and we are saying, Bolo, the what? No. I believe the Bolo prophecy is a prophetic word that will come to pass. All of the lizards, all of the rat them, all of the termite, all of the thief them, all of the criminal them, I don't care which side they are on, them have to come out of parliament. You understand? They must go. And God is in control. Now let's go to the video, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to the video.
I want to go back a little bit more in your presentation. Yesterday, you thoroughly carried the discussion about the reform of healthcare.
Yes.
As we speak, many of our hospitals don't have a CT scan machine.
Yeah.
CT scans and MRI are outsourced. You said that under PNP administration, there will be at least one CT scan and MRI in each parish as a start. You also spoke about primary care versus what is happening now about knowing your numbers.
Yeah.
Operating theaters, the cries of many Jamaicans is that they go into the hospitals, no ventilators, they have to be on the corridors, all of that each week, each day. What does a reform of healthcare under Mark Jefferson Golding administration look like?
Well, we want to shift away from these mega projects, which, involve mounting billions of dollars, like the Cornwall Regional Hospital, which started as a $2 billion project and is now at over $21 billion 7 years later, and it's still not functioning properly. That is a disgrace, and nobody has been held to account for it. So we really want to enhance the delivery of healthcare.
When the
in the clip, $1 billion 7 years later, and it's still not functioning properly. That is a disgrace, and nobody has been held to account for it. So we really want to enhance the delivery of healthcare in the clinics and hospitals. Patients go to the hospital to be diagnosed as to what's wrong and to be treated, and then to return home and feel better, And we have a problem right now because we're not doing screening at the level that we need to do. And I read some appalling statistics, which I want to repeat, since I have your audience and you here.
Yes,
in Jamaica, 70% of colon cancers, that's a bowel cancer, are now are diagnosed at advanced stages. When you're in real problems, not early on where it can be dealt with much more effectively. 70%, 90% of breast cancer are detected by a lump over a year after the cancer started. Prostate cancer is normally diagnosed after it has spread beyond the prostate.
Wow.
50% of diabetic patients, 40% of hypertensive patients, that's sugar and pressure, they have no idea that they have the disease. 50% of people with diabetes don't know they have diabetes. And 40% of people with pressure don't know they have pressure.
Mighty God, Marky G.
Yeah.
It is really bad.
It is bad. And we need to put a proper screening process in place because a lot of these things can be dealt with, you know.
Ball out! Whoa! We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election.
And 40% of people with pressure don't know they have pressure.
Mighty God, Marky G.
Yeah.
It is really bad.
It is bad. And we need to put a proper screening process in place because a lot of these things can be dealt with, you know, with very successful outcomes.
Yes.
If you catch it early and you deal with it early. So we plan to launch national screening programs to identify these diseases that are the top killers of our people and treat them early and more effectively.
You know, this part of it, I had to go over this because healthcare is really a damning issue in Jamaica more than ever before. The screening is definitely going to help so you can identify this stuff early. I mean, when you look at the fact that most Jamaicans don't have food security now because that number is very high, that means they are eating anything they can afford to eat, not necessarily the most nutritious meal that won't get them sick. So with the screening, ladies and gentlemen, this is excellent, right? We need to identify those things early, all those top killers he's talking about. I want to ask the question, why wasn't this idea implemented years ago? I mean, that idea is such an idea. I would think that these bright minds, and I'm speaking on both sides of the aisle over the years. What has been the screening history? You know what I mean? Has anybody implemented this idea before? Was the idea taken out at one point? And then I have to ask the question, which administration took out screening if it was added? And then why was it taken out? What was the good reason for them to jeopardize the health of the people of Jamaica for the government to offer free screening all over Jamaica? What was the reason? Was it because money was the problem? Was it because they wanted to cut the budget and tap into that area? Was that area compromised to put that money into other areas? Because this is a basic thing that should always be done. It doesn't matter which government is in power. The people of Jamaica should demand that this goes into policy, right? And it's not negotiable, right? They cannot negotiate island-wide screening, especially when it comes down to colon cancer, because you guys know how Jamaican men are when it comes to the testing of colon cancer. They need to find some other way to screen the colon cancer thing still for facilitate the phobia of the original form of colon cancer testing. So, you know, colon cancer is a real chopper in Jamaica in terms of life. Also, prostate cancer, that is another phobia that Jamaican men have in terms of getting tested for that. So they need to find other ways. I think there is other ways. I've seen other ways that they can test effectively whether or not someone has colon cancer and all of these things. Sugar, hypertension, all the stuff that he mentioned. Again, why wasn't this implemented years ago? Why, if it was, who removed the implementation? And I really would love for them to answer why, if they are still around, or if anybody is a part of their administration still. But let's continue.
You know, prevention and early treatment are easier, cheaper, and more effective than late cure. So that's one aspect of us, of what we plan to do. We also see the need to ensure that operating theaters are properly maintained.
You
Right
mean
now,
theaters that Tufton don't have working?
That's right. KPH, 4 theaters closed.
That's not
Cornwall
working.
Regional, no surgery. St. Anne's Bay, Annato Bay, National Chest Hospital, all of these have
Spanish.
non-functional operating theaters. It is a terrible situation. And that there's been really such poor attention to maintaining equipment. Basic equipment, air conditioning units. Right now there's a mold problem at KPH.
My God.
Yeah, as a result of AC units not working as they should. So, the emphasis needs to be on ensuring that the things that are necessary for basic healthcare that is needed by our people to be delivered in a dignified way, in a way which is accessible to them, that is not being done. And the standard of care in the public health system has suffered, and you see that there have been problems with industrial unrest, with all levels, even the consultants at the highest level of the system have had have taken their own form of action. The situation is in crisis. We have an excellent spokesperson who has been in the public health system for many years.
Before he goes there, in terms of who is the shadow minister, Mr. Dr. Alfred Dawes, and Splash DJ, Fim MP, that Patrick says, when I hear him talking about these sicknesses, it gets me emotional. You can hear the care in the man's voice. No, you're absolutely right about that, Patrick. And I'm glad you observed that, because you see, that is the legacy that Mark Golding's father and mother left with him. They were activists, especially his father in the area of helping the disabled. So him growing up around that. You remember what he said in I think it's his budget speech. He said that somebody have a question. Go ahead, Jeffrey. He said that he grew up around disabled people because he was always there with his dad, and this being around disabled people was normal. He saw them as normal human beings, and that, ladies and gentlemen, I think is an element that is missing in a lot of us Jamaicans. I don't think that we have, and I'm going to include myself in there. I do not think that we have that level of compassion and care for the disabled in that regard. I really don't. You know what I mean? And his father, being who he is, Mark Golding's father, Sir John Golding, the Honorable Sir John Golding, because you have to put honorable upon his name for what he actually did for the disabled in this country, and the legacy still stands, still doing, the only one of its kind in the English-speaking Caribbean. And I will always say that that man's father has done more for Jamaica than the entire Jamaica Labour Party. Yes, I said it, and I'm going to say it again. So, when you look at where he's coming from in terms of his legacy, you can understand why this was something that really touched Mark Golding. You remember in the parliament when, let me see if I can find it. Remember in the budget when Mr. Tufton got up, ladies and gentlemen. Well,
we had to undertake.
Don't struggle with.
Hold on. When he was sitting down in the budget presentation, and the man literally was laughing.
For just a moment, though, because I know you.
And I'm telling you, man, Mark Golding got upset. Mark Golding got absolutely upset. I said, man, joking at the pan, man. Mark Golding was very, very upset, ladies and gentlemen. So that is how I know, for me, how much it means to Mark Golding. The area of health and taking care of people. It's definitely a passion of his. I'm looking for the area where, he made an ass of himself, Christopher Tufton. And I want the people of Jamaica to remember these moments, you know, and keep them close to your heart, you know, because, you see, we must not forget. Must not forget, ladies and gentlemen.
2016, the legislation was ultimately passed by this government in 2017 and was brought into effect in 2018. All the commissioners and senior officials of the commission have been appointed during the tenure of this government. The Integrity Commission is a vital institution. It needs to be protected, and most obvious being that it is futile to hold a referendum on an issue, the possible outcome of which does not lie in our power to implement or continue. If there was a referendum and the vote was to remain tied to the Privy Council, the power to make that happen does not lie with us in Jamaica. It lies with the gift of the United Kingdom, and they can change their. The current administration's focus on public relations over effective service delivery has led to a near collapse in the public health sector. It is heartbreaking to watch the news or scroll through social media knowing that every week there's another grieving family crying out for change. Mr. Speaker, from almost every level of staff, as well as overcrowded and deteriorating facilities. Most recently we're hearing about mold, which has locked down all 4 operating theatres in the Kingston Public Hospital. If you can't have operation in public, what does that mean? Member for Central St. Mary who knows about these things, it is a terrible situation. The current administration's focus on public relations over effective service delivery has led to a near collapse in the public health sector. It is heartbreaking to watch the news or scroll through social media knowing that every week there's another grieving family crying out for change. Mr. Speaker, the debacle of Cornwall Regional Hospital's renovation, which after 7 years has seen its budget explode from 2 billion to over 21 billion and counting, and still nowhere near completion, is a testament to the shambolic project execution of this government. And Mr. Speaker, it is an absolute travesty that no one has been held accountable for the mother of all overruns. It is an unmitigated disgrace. Mr. Speaker, the PNP will undertake a major policy shift in the area of health, from a focus on mega infrastructure projects towards enhancing the delivery of healthcare across Jamaica's clinics and hospitals. Patients go to a hospital or a clinic to be diagnosed and treated, to return home alive and well. Jamaicans are crying out for this lack of basic services. They want it to be fixed, and the next PNP government will fix it. The health system needs to pivot away from primary care. We need to pivot away from secondary care to primary care and focus on extensive screening. 70% of colon cancers in Jamaica are now diagnosed at advanced stages. 70% of colon cancers diagnosed at advanced stages. 90% of breast cancers are detected by a lump over a year after the cancer started. 90%. Prostate cancer is primarily diagnosed after it has already spread. 50% of diabetics and 40% of hypertensive patients have no idea that they have those diseases. And tragically, the entirely preventable cervical cancer, cancer of the cervix in women, continues to claim so many lives of Jamaica's women. We will launch a national screening program to identify the diseases that are the top killers of Jamaicans and treat them early and more effectively. No, your numbers are joke. Joking that. Prevention and early treatment are easier, cheaper, and more effective than late cures. They specialize in gimmicks. We specialize in real solutions to bring lasting change.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you will see right there the demeanor of look at Mark Golding. Mark Golding is visibly upset, you know, and you have this man just laughing Look at the man. Look at the disgusting behavior. Yo, these people should be locked up for treason, you know. Look at the state of health care. And this man can be in the parliament with this type of behavior when serious issues are being discussed about the area of health. Eh? And you can't see the man say, oh, a joke thing that, brother. Look at Mark Golding. Mark Golding is pissed, you know. Specialize in gimmicks. Gimmicks. This is how we have to deal with Jamaica. Look at
Ball out! Whoa! We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out. From Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody. Man or woman.
In gimmicks, we specialize in real solutions to bring lasting change.
Embarrassing. We need some milk.
So, you know, Mark Golding, ladies and gentlemen, cares. Mark Golding actually cares. Him not cry down. The man is laughing. He must be laughing, crying. Me say, I thank you so much, Star Trek. We can all agree that JLP is now at a point where not one well-thinking Jamaican should be voting for this party. Because you see the people at the top, and this is why I want the system of governance in Jamaica to change. Because I don't want to be voting for parties anymore. I want to be voting for individuals that is the right person. What I want, Pat W? Blessings in the ma. I want to be voting for the right person. Dynamite, how you doing? Exactly. Health Minister laughing. I want to be voting for persons, ladies and gentlemen, who are qualified for the job. Like a Dr. Alfred Dawes. Like a Andre Harton. Like a man like Damian Crawford, Ministry of Education. I would vote for Damian Crawford to be the president of the Ministry of Education. Yes. And I'm very confident in his ability to actually get the type of staff that he needs that is going to attack the education of our whole entire generation with the same veracity and passion that he has for education. I am confident in Damian Crawford, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to justice, I am confident in Mark Golding. I would vote for Mark Golding as the Minister of Justice. Bar none. Because again, the man actually cares for people. You understand what I'm saying? I would give him that responsibility where legislation is concerned to curb corruption and crime in Jamaica. You understand? That's what I would give him for. And you see, a lot of people gonna say this and this and that. But you see, in terms of industries, I would give the UIC president in the area of technology and advanced industries, especially energy. You see the portfolio that Pdtv it's not Pdtv. Oh my God. The energy minister Peter Bunting. I would give the UIC president that ministry. I would vote for him in that ministry. You understand? Because I understand his skill set in terms of, and even in financing too. To be honest with you, he is certified. He did work for the government of Canada, so he could work in both those two areas. But the point of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, I want to eliminate party governance. I want to eliminate party politics from Jamaica. Yes. That's why I like the UIC, because that is one of their mandates to eliminate that. You understand? That is one of my mandates. But I digress. Big up Marky G. That is the first part of the segment that I wanted to go into. And now we're going to go into the main portion, ladies and gentlemen. Well, no, there's one more thing, and then we go to the main portion. So remember, guys. Hey, y'all, please remember to hit the like button. I know y'all come in sometimes and y'all forget, but the main thing, man, y'all gotta hit the like button, man. And share the live stream. Come on now. Let's go. Stop playing. Support. The like button is free, That's right.